Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome back to some more City Skylines. Now I've been playing for about 5 to 10-ish minutes, realizing, or not realizing rather, that I wasn't recording. Genius! Basically the thing that I've done so far in this episode is connect the Lowkopian woodlands to the Lowkopian park that we made in the last episode. And make sure that it is like woodlands, you know, together. So basically we're ensuring that there's gonna be a lot of like beautiful little tree places that are gonna be, you know, zoning in right there, and at the same time that also fixed the traffic issue that we had going on over there. So it's looking pretty solid. As you can see, we now have an actual demand for more commercial zone as well, as well as more, you know, actual like residential zones. But I'm thinking, instead of like building something completely new, we're gonna be focusing mainly on fixing what we already have. So we got a lot of like little zones right here, a lot of little places, but one place that's been neglected for quite some time is this area right here. I mean, there's a lot of room right here, but finally all of the cemeteries and whatnot have been emptied, so we can actually go ahead and make use of what we got. So I'm actually gonna, first off, get rid of all of these cemeteries. I'm sorry guys, I know you won't like that, but I think we're just gonna be rebuilding this one for at least the most part. Ideally I want to have like more of like a high density zone that we got going on over there as well. Because, you know, there's just a lot of wasted space over here. So I'm thinking about mostly doing this in like little compartments, I suppose, and do it in little bits instead of like doing it all at once. So the first thing we're gonna get rid of is all of these paths. Okay, so there we go. Getting rid of the first bunch of stuff over here. Obviously people are not gonna get too upset or not too happy when I do this, but it's for the greater good, guys. I promise you. So I'm trying to figure out the way I want these roads to work out, and I'm honestly not completely sure. There's a lot of like messed up roads over here. I'm thinking just extending this one straight ahead would probably be most beneficial, but obviously that's gonna cause a lot of traffic jams, so we're gonna have to just pause the game for at least a little bit, zone out more stuff, I'm afraid, and go from there. Alright, there we go. Got that road all the way extended over there, and obviously we want to make sure that we have these little patches in there as well. I don't even know how I managed to construct this zone. It's such a mess. Like, this thing's literally in the middle of nowhere. I'm trying to make it better right now. I hope it will turn out good though, because it's a little bit scary to be deleting this much stuff. I mean, it's gonna cost us a lot of income as soon as I unpause this, so I really don't want to do that too soon. Not until I'm at the very least done for the most part with what is going on here, although I don't know what's blocking the road. Alright, there we go. So I got these patches, or like these like square type things built in everywhere right here. I'm thinking it's gonna be useful to put some directional like 2-lane roads, or like, well, yeah, 2-lane roads right here as well. So maybe one from that angle and then one from the other angle as well. There we go. So we have like one space in between that we can use for trees, and these are like both one directional now. Alright, there we go. So I got the first little pattern set up right here. So the idea is that I have like one space in between those roads, and those are like basically, you know, one block right here and then the third block as well, and then the second block and the fourth block only, or have 2 lanes of roads instead, and we're gonna be putting some trees in there. So it's gonna look a little randomized, but I think it will look pretty cool once this is all finished up, and at least it will be a lot more functional and a lot more space that we can actually zone in than it was in the past, obviously. And I'll actually just move these things over for now as well, so we can continue the pattern at least for now over here. Just realized this road isn't even connecting there. That's kind of pointless. And since I've started running out of electricity as well, I think it may be worth it to just try and put down this second thing as well. Just like that. So expensive. Such a big upkeep as well, but it'll be worth it. Alright, there we go. Got them placed properly right there, so that's cool. That actually looks really nice as well. And it's gonna generate a ton of electricity. As long as it doesn't burn down, obviously. The hospital, you're gonna have to be replaced as well. Or at least be placed at a place where you can actually be useful. Well, I think this is going to be your temporary new home. And then we can start zoning in at least some of this area right here. So we're only using higher residential and commercial zones right here. I see that there's a need as well for... Well, actually, we'll just make sure that these trees are gone then as well. But I see there's also a need for some industrial zones right now. But I think we're going to leave that out, at least for the time being. And we should probably find something... Well, actually, should we fill up this area? We can, if we want to. We don't really have to, though. We can just make, like... Actually, what if we make that offices? Offices would be very useful as well. So just, like, make one long strip of office buildings like that. Cool. Alright, time to unpause and see what happens. Alright, that actually turned out pretty cool. People are still moving in right there, but it's not a big deal. I actually was a little worried that we would get into trouble with this, but turns out it worked out pretty well, actually. Yeah, definitely not complaining. So I think we're gonna follow a similar pattern up there and just, you know, keep building it upwards. I may leave in this area, though, because there's, like, a lot of business over there, and I don't really want to get rid of all of it. There we go. We're erasing all of this stuff here. This is gonna be expensive. Whoopsie daisies. Sorry, guys. I now fully understand, though, why cities in real life oftentimes look so weird. It's because every time you rebuild stuff, you're gonna have to, at the very least, like, leave some of the old there in order to not, you know, have everyone be upset. Mind is blown right now. So I've started adding on these lanes right here. It's just a matter of asking how we're gonna fill this up. I do really like this grid type pattern though, so I think I may want to try and continue that, which means that we're gonna have to move this hospital once again. It's like the 16th time I moved the thing, but we're gonna have to find out a way where you can, we're gonna have to find a place where you can stay, but we're gonna have to figure out exactly what pattern we want where. Okay, so this is looking pretty cool so far. So all of these roads here in the middle, once again to clarify, are going to be one directional. So, you know, this one, for example, you can only enter in that direction and the other one only in that direction. And hopefully that should help with the traffic flow. So I'm gonna do something very similar over in this area as well and just continue that sort of grid style, you know, for the rest of the zone. Alright, so here we are. Time to start clicking in the trees, and then it's time to actually zone in this place as well. But I think this will be a lot more functional than what we had in the past. At the very least, you know, there's just a lot more space that people can move into, and I'm secretly hoping this will like put us up against, or that we will like be able to get over 50,000 people. And by the way, there's a little bit of a cheat going on over here. I mean, these roads are pointless. They're not leading anywhere, but for some reason they didn't want to connect to the 6-lane road up there, so I don't think anyone will notice. Well, we'll add some trees in this little corner as well. There we go. Alright, there we are. Time to start zoning in these areas as well, so we're gonna do a healthy mix of pretty much everything that we got. We'll do some office spaces like right there and right there. There we go. And then some higher residential. I think we want to have a bunch more of this stuff. So, you know, use a whole lot of space at the very least for residential zones. And there we have it. That should work. Let's unpause the game and see what happens. There's likely going to be a lot of people moving out at first, but I think once people start moving back in, we should be good. Oh, where are we going to put the hospital, by the way? Does it fit over here? Just barely not. Is there any place? Oh my god. Alright, alright. So I tried merging in the rest of this zone as well. Or at the very least, you know, make it look like it belongs here. And then obviously we'll have to zone in these bits too. More residential. And I guess we do a bunch of office as well then, if there's still more demand for that. Interestingly enough, all of a sudden everyone wants industry and offices and stuff. Well, I guess this will do. There we go. Alright, so there we are right now. Definitely made a lot of progress here. I think in a little bit there will be more and more people moving in. I mean, there's still some people complaining here, but I don't think that's gonna be that big of an issue. I messed around a little bit with the electricity and the water supply and a bunch of schools that I added, and I changed some of the percentages on the budget, and you know, we figured around, or we messed around a little bit with the taxes as well. Just trying to see if I can, you know, optimize a little bit more. We still need to place the damn hospital somewhere though. Hospital, where do you want to go? Where do you fit? That's the real question. Hospitals are really fat. I know, you can't say that, but I don't like the place it is at right now though. We can just put it right here then. There we go. That should be fine. I mean, it's a little bigger than all of these office buildings, but I mean, I would go there. Yeah, see? People immediately start building their businesses right next to it, which is fair enough. Last thing to do though is to connect these underground motorway things to the actual city again, because I disconnected those. Where do we want this one to go? Ideally, we wanted to connect in somewhere else than the other one, obviously. Let's have a look. So if we bring it over here, can we connect it on over there? That would work. Although it's crooked. Dang it. For some reason, this train is still underneath the train rails. Ever since we made this little loop over right here, it's been exactly like that. I don't really know exactly what, I don't really understand why though. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I think we should add like a second train rails around this, because there's always traffic that gets stuck over here. Maybe we can like add a second place around it. I hope the trains will actually automatically start taking that route right there. There's still this weird messed up place right there, but I guess we'll just leave that as it is. We'll see if people start making use of it. Just look at this though. So cool. And there's no traffic issues at all. A lot of flats, a lot of really big buildings. There's people walking around and stuff. But it's actually working, which is great. It's a lot better than what we had here in the past, that's for sure. I'm actually gonna move this train rails over there, I think. If I can, that is, obviously. The way it is right now is just not really working very well. Maybe we can even move it over here, to be honest. Let's have a look. For some reason, it doesn't fit anywhere but here. I think that's already gonna be an improvement, though. Because at least that weird loop around is not there anymore. And I think that's what really was causing the issue of the trains, like, constantly piling up over here. Yeah, there's just simply too many trains going in this direction. They seem to all want to stop at one of these places. Now, I'm not 100% sure how you remove these train rails things. So I guess we're just gonna try. I mean, I guess this whole area, though, doesn't really help. But we're not gonna remove the train rails of Doom anymore. That was too much, too many memories right there. One thing I would really like to do over here is get rid of these really long roads. And maybe just make it one big tunnel. I mean, it may look a little funny, though. I like the idea of there being, like, you know, these things that actually go into the mountain, I suppose. But I don't really like the way this looks. I mean, this just looks really funny. We can give it a try and see what we think. Alright, so that's all of these things gone. It's a lot of flying cars. So right now what we want to do is add these motorways and go underground. So wait, hold on, let me make sure that I got the correct direction here. Okay, yeah. So we want to go underground here. And then obviously the same for this one, where we want to go above ground. There's actually a lot of tunnels happening here already. May have to reroute those. Alright, there we go. So that's them underground right there. And then I just need to make sure that they're gonna be connected to the correct ones over here as well. So yeah, this one has to connect to the one on the right. I hope this is even possible, to be honest. Because obviously it's a mountain. Okay, that's step one right there. We need to just make sure it goes like deeper and deeper. Here we go. This should work, I think. Oh god, it has to go all the way through the mountain though. We're not even remotely close yet. And it has to connect inward over there. You need like a really high IQ to navigate my city. Which I'm not sure is a bad thing. Now we just need to make sure that, you know, you'll actually be able to connect inward over here. Well, if we can make it a little bit less of a ridiculous look, I suppose it would be nice. Okay, there we go. Got that one connected. Now we just need to make sure that these are properly connected as well. So many tunnels here, it's ridiculous. Okay, so there we go. That motorway is going just like that. And then we need to do something similar for the other one. Oh my god, this looks crazy. But hey, nobody sees underground in the end, right? Or at least they shouldn't. Actually have to make sure that they're turned on the other way around. There we go. So that should work right there. And then we have to construct the other one too. There we go! I got it! I got it. So this is a really weird setup right here. The one motorway is going underneath the one that is connecting these two zones right here. And then the other one is going over it. But that doesn't matter. As soon as we look above ground, this works. This works. It's just that people have to take a massive loop around in order to get there, but... Oh man, the amount of tunnels here is pretty insane, but I kind of like the look. I'm kind of digging it, actually. That's really funny. We could even connect these two places together. I mean, nobody would really be bothered by that anymore right now. But this is looking nice. This works well. Was just really expensive to put down these tunnels, but, you know, as long as it works, we'll take it. Alright guys, that is gonna be it for this episode. It was a really fun one. I actually really enjoyed rebuilding this higher residential zone, and it seems to work out really well. I love the way these trees make it just look so much nicer than it, you know, would otherwise. The trees really do add on, you know, like a lot of, I don't know, like a lot of character slash nature sort of thing. I like it a lot. And obviously, you know, most of the traffic jams seems to be fixed, except for these trains. I still don't know exactly how to do that. But anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, hit the follow button or the subscribe button right below the video so you can get a notification when I upload another one. And I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to smile. And I'll see you in the next one.